But just to get a sense of, I think for me it's very helpful to get a sense of that sort of quality of sort of searching or slight sort of unease or wanting something. Yeah. So yeah. Just to get a flavor of that. And the other thing I thought it might just to sort of really get a bit more of a handle on it, it might be helpful for us to just tune into, it's one of these things that, you know, yeah, we sit down and we meditate, we, you know, sometimes it just feels like there's just, you know, so much going on in our minds, but actually there's probably, you know, a lot of commentating, a lot of checking out, a lot of orientating going on in our minds all the time. Yeah, whether we're meditating or not, it can just be even more obvious in a way when we're meditating. So just as we sit here now, we don't have to get into meditation posture for this bit, but just we'll just sit quietly for a minute or two, and can we get a sense as we're sitting here of where that searching mind, that sense of it in the body, you know, where is it coming from? You know, when we say, okay, we're going to look at this, where is that sense of someone looking? Where is that coming from? Where is that? Is that located in a place in the body? Yeah, just sitting here, getting a feeling for that. So I know this all might be very obvious, but I think it's quite good just to be very clear about where our starting point is. And it may, you know, it may be actually surprising what you find when you look as well. So does anyone want to sort of say what they found when they were looking for where it was coming from?
I was very surprised.
Or coming in with these comments, you know, all the time. That sort of, that can be related to the area around the head. Yeah, often it's sort of, we're a bit up here. Yeah, the energy is up here. Bante's referred to us being sometimes a dragon's head on a snake's body. Do you remember that image, a dragon's head on a snake's body? Now, I quite like dragons and I like snakes too, but I think what he's getting at in this image is the energy, yeah, the energy all being up, this huge sort of fiery energy all up in the head center, yeah, wherever we're experiencing that, and that can change, yeah, but it's like holding this tension above this sort of. And I think for him here, the snake is a sort of probably an inert, you know, comparatively uncharged area of the body in relation to that. Yeah. So yes, where is the charge going on? And so one of the things that's really helpful when we're working with these sorts of distractions and mental proliferation and emotional tension and all of this stuff, one of the things that's very helpful in working with this is to allow the energy to move away from these areas of tension, yeah, and focus and to sort of drop into body sensation. Okay. So I'm sure that's not the first time you've heard that. Yeah. I'm sure that's not the first time you've been on a retreat where there's been a lot of emphasis put on body meditation, body awareness, dropping into the body. Yeah. And this is what we're going to be doing this morning. But I just wanted to, well, look at what it is exactly that we're moving to and we're moving away from. Yeah. Because sometimes we can get the sense that thoughts are bad. Yeah. Emotions, mental activity, memories, all of that, those sorts of things are bad, and we somehow have to get into this sphere of the body, which is somehow almost sanctified. Sometimes, the body can be almost a sort of this sort of holy, the temple of the body, which in a way can do no wrong, whereas in the mental sphere we can get ourselves into a lot of trouble. Yeah, we can cause a lot of suffering to ourselves and other. And there's something in that, but I want to be quite precise about the issues that we're facing here. Yeah. So our mental faculty is a joy and a boon. The mind sense, yeah, the mind sense holds all of our creative imagination, all of our ability to communicate with each other. The fact that we're sitting here listening and exchanging and talking in this very strange, let's call it meta space. I'm not sure about cyberspace, but let's call it meta space that we're sharing here together. Yeah. All of that, we're able to do that because we can interpret the images that we're getting on the screen. We can understand the words that we're hearing. Yeah, we can share that. And all of that is an incredible, rich, fulfilling, amazing part of being alive. Yeah. Sometimes when well, certainly for me, for many years, when I heard the instruction, come into the body, it would somehow make me feel that all of this was something to cut off, and that I needed to come into the body, which is true. I did, and I do. It's an ongoing work for me, but it doesn't. It's not sort of, in a way. It's not coming into the body and cutting off, if you like, from all of that creativity and aliveness and exchange and richness, and yeah. The issue that we're looking at here, the cause of suffering, I suggest to you, and you can explore this in yourselves as well, but it's the compulsiveness. Yeah, it's the searching. A few of your screens have frozen. Am I clear? Are you hearing me all right? Just give me the thumbs up if it's, yeah. Okay, thank you. So yeah, so it's this is the second noble truth, yeah, the truth of dukkha, craving, yeah. So that craving, yeah, is, we can feel that second noble truth. It's really good to get a sense of it in the body, how that feels, yeah, that closing down, yeah, that tension in the jaw, that pushing away, yeah, that holding of energy, yeah, up behind in the back of the neck. All of that is an indication that there's sort of, we're holding on to this, we're holding on to our mental activity, yeah, we're keeping going the story of our lives, yeah. And the problem is that takes over, that we're not free in that mental activity, we're not free in that creativity, we're not free in that emotional responsiveness, yeah. We're pushed and pulled around by it, yeah. So it's the compulsiveness, it's the not freeness that's the problem, yeah. Is that clear? Does that make sense? Yeah, any questions around that? Because I think it's really important to really pinpoint what it is that we're looking at here. Can feel into that tension, if you like, either on a physical level. We can feel that often on a sometimes it's clearer to feel it on a physical level than to know it's happening on a mental level, yeah. So we can feel into it on a, you know, where we're holding on a physical level, or we can have a sense that there's mental constriction, or we can have a sense that there's emotional constriction. So if I'm sitting and I'm you know, I'm just sort of seeing what's going on, and where I'm being pulled away from a very integrated experience of practice of sitting, I can, you know, there's often I can feel it on all of those different levels. So there'll be, you know, you can either feel it mentally or physically or emotionally. And in the practices that we do, where we allow the energy to move more into the body sphere and less, you know, less caught up with the mental sphere, yes, we will experience tension, but it's more, in a way, it's more direct. So it helps us to really feel that. It's, in a way, it shows us more that there is tension there. You know, it's like, you know, Pasada saying, "Oh, there's tension in the jaw," and that gives her a clue that there's you know, some mental holding there as well. And Kavya Shri, you know, has an emotional response, and that's also linked. So, and people saying the heart and the head, you know, being linked. So yes, they are very linked. And in a way, it sort of doesn't matter from this point of view. It doesn't matter whether you don't need to work out, well, is it mental, is it emotional, is it body? It's like what we're trying to get a feeling for, of wherever that is for us, is where that constriction is, yeah. So Yeah, and sometimes it's sort of as Sheila was saying in her experience, if you go into the body, you can have the experience of it just being, it almost just the holding goes by itself, because you know it's opened. You're not creating that mental story. So yeah, we're doing this in order to be more mentally, emotionally vivid and alive. Yeah, we're not doing this in order to sort of close off our mental faculties. When I had a period in my life of doing a lot of this practice. I'm a particularly bad case. I had academic parents, and they did look like they almost were dragon's head on snake's body. I mean, they were lovely people, but they did, they lived up here totally. And, that was my upbringing. That was what I was used to. So it's an ongoing practice for me, and it takes, I had a period when I was doing a lot of this sort of practice, and I said to the person who was guiding my retreat, I was on a long retreat at the time, and I said to him, look, I'm going to completely lose my ability to think. I'm like, I get so much sort of coming into the body and opening, and I'm not going to be able to think anymore. And he just laughed and said, just trust that you will be, if everything's flowing and in sort of proper alignment, as it were, then yeah, when we want to think, we can think. When we want to respond, we can respond. Yeah, but it's the compulsiveness, it's the not freeness of it that we have to unpack and release. Bante always used to say, oh, well, I'll think about that next Thursday morning. If he had something to think about. So I aspire to that. Okay, let's do a bit of practice. Just to get, just to be really sure again what we're moving into here. Before we actually do the practice, and you can get your seats together, but if I say, feel into your hand, yeah? Bring the attention, bring the awareness to your hand. What happens there? Do you have, I mean, you may even not have your eyes closed. You may be looking at your hand, yeah? Or you may be feeling in, yeah? Feeling in to the sensations of the hand, yeah? But even if we're feeling into the sensations of the hand, we may have this sort of mental image of hand. Yeah, does that ring a bell? We may have a mental image, either a picture, or sometimes it's a bit like in the back of my head somewhere, there's something going hand, 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 and repeating that so that I get this sense of feeling into the hand. Yeah, some nods of recognition there, I think. So that's fine. I mean, that's what we do, that's what we do to, in order to sort of get ourselves into the right location, if you like. So that's not a problem. And there are sensations there that don't rely on that mental image. Yeah. They don't rely on that label hand. Yeah. It's just, in fact, we don't know. Yeah. It's a bit like, it's that not knowing quality. So, well, what is it? What is it like to feel that area? What is it like? Yeah. Can we get right in there? Yeah. Does that make sense? Can you see the distinction I'm trying to make? It's not an idea of feeling into the hand. It's the actual, I can almost only do it if I shut my eyes, but it's the actual experience of the sort of movement of energy within there, the sort of the weight of gravity on it, all the little sensation, whatever it is. Yeah. And, you know, I'm sure many of you have done this sort of work before, but I just want to get really sort of clear to start with what it is that we're getting into, so that we can, and it takes time. I mean, believe me, you know, hopefully you won't have had the same sort of background as me, but you know, for me, it takes time, and I keep coming back to this. It isn't just the start of the path, if you like, to really sort of open that out and be curious, to really sense right into it. Yeah. And not to separate myself out from it, and explore, well, what is there? Not what I think is going to be there, or this idea I have of what should be there, but what is that actual experience? Yeah. It can be a really sort of lovely, open, yeah. And do we need to have these labels in order to have this experience that I'm having right now? Yeah. What can we sort of loosen up? Yeah. So we'll just, if we haven't already done so, just set ourselves up for meditation. In fact, I'm going to say, sorry about this, but I'm going to invite you, if you want to start really lying on the ground, if you've got room in the place where you are, to be much more in contact with the ground. So we can even sort of lie on the ground, or just with our backs on the ground. Yeah, just so that you get this sort of feeling of really being much more in contact with the ground. Just to start with, then we'll move into sitting position from there. Really? I'm supposed to be muted, aren't I? Yeah, from down here. Good. Okay. So releasing into the support of the ground. Feeling right up through the body, wherever there is contact. feeling the sensations of contact. Giving yourself time to release completely into those sensations. Releasing the breath. And with the out breath, letting the skin fall more towards the earth. Simple sensations of pressure, weight, as we give in to gravity more and more. Relaxing, dissolving into the sensation. The tingling or vibration of energy as it meets the earth. giving our weight to the ground, not holding ourselves up from it. Entering into the aliveness of the sensations of the body. Do we even know where the body stops and the earth starts? In sensation, in feeling, in direct experience. A field or cloud of sensation. Which we can release into. And now, if you want to, if you prefer, you can just stay lying. But if you want to, you can roll gently onto one side, Still keeping that sense of connection with the earth. Rolling gently onto one side. And coming back into a sitting position. Refinding that connection, that contact with the earth. As gravity plays on us in a different way. The forces of gravity move through our body, moving towards the earth. Our skin, our muscles open, fall into our seat. The center of gravity is free to drop right into our belly. Sensations of the belly area gently shifting. Feeling right in to those differing sensations. Giving our weight to the earth. Releasing the energy downwards. Sensing into areas of our body where there's more activity or less activity within this cloud of sensation. as the energy is free to rise up our spine. We sit open, alive to the field of sensation. So we'll have a 20-minute break and we'll come back at 11:41. Is she there?
Yes, I am here. I just had to find my own picture to say, yes, we're good to go. You carry right on, Vijayamala.
Okay, fine. You all look like Tara there to me. Oh yes, there you are. Still look like Tara. Okay. Good. Don't know if you can remember back into that last meditation, but were there any follow-ons from that? Any questions, comments that you want to make? Clarifications? By bringing your attention into the sensations of the head, the actual sensations, not the thoughts, because it's closer. Does that make sense? So you're not trying to sort of shift mode and shift position at the same time, as it were. Yeah. So you're staying in that area, but you're shifting from a sort of involvement in the thought processes to feeling into what the sensations around the head are. Yeah. But I just want to affirm that I'm really happy with what you say, actually, because I think it sort of, it does take time. Yeah, it really takes time. And it, you know, like for me, it takes time, and it's still something I have to do, you know, oh no, you know, get right down. And it's like, I'm fooling myself all the time. You know, I'm thinking, oh yeah, no, I'm in my body. And then I'm realizing I've just got this conversation about it going all the time. You know, all that, you know, noticing that actually you're up here looking down. Yeah, that's, I'm really happy to hear that, because it's that's the starting of bringing into relationship with this. Yeah, so then you've got something you can really work with. So okay, so you move sort of to maybe the area behind your head, or just the sensations around there, and then from there you move down maybe a bit. Yeah, when you feel, oh yeah, no, this is really, there's a bit more, and it's not going to be on and off. I mean, this takes, for me, this takes years and years and years. Yeah. For some people, they're more, you know, they're more body based. I mean, you look at some of like the Sherpas who jump around the mountains in Tibet, you know, they're just so in their bodies, aren't they? And, you know, a lot of people are, and a lot of people do a lot of body work, but, you know, for those of us who aren't, and for the times, I think for all of us, there are times when we, you know, maybe when we're triggered or frightened or stimulated, when we go up into our bodies. Yeah. So just, you know, let it take the time that it takes. Be prepared to be complete beginner. That's what we need. Complete, you know, it's the complete antithesis of one that we've prepared, you know, a set, you know, we don't know when we're starting out what it's going to feel like. Yeah. In a way that knowledge, that being able to sort of articulate what it's going to feel like, comes from that sort of mental activity. And this is a completely different sphere. So it's an exploration. Yeah. And just, you know, in a way, the simpler we can get with it, the more, you know, the more curious, the more open. Yeah. And yes, just gradually drop from maybe the back of the head to the neck, to the area around the chest. And so gradually, yeah. And very often, you know, we hold tension in various places, which means that we're going to sort of jump off out of that. You know, it may be quite uncomfortable to stay with the sensations around the belly area, for example. So it's a question of finding your way in. Yeah, finding your way in a way that works for us, and that's going to be very, very individual. Yeah, because we all hold our tension in different ways. Yeah, we all sort of construct our version of ourselves in different ways. Yeah. One of the things I think that's difficult when we're dealing with stress and overstimulation is that we somehow think that, I'll come back to this later in the week, but we somehow think that what we're involved in sort of needs us to have it in our minds all the time. Yeah, that we need to keep that sort of activity going on in our minds all the time. Yeah, because this is serious and real and difficult, and we need to be thinking about it all the time. Yeah, a few nods of recognition there. And that actually we lose trust that we can just put it down for a minute, and that we, you know, if we do that, we'll be in a better state later to actually creatively address it. Yeah. Does that ring a bell? Yeah. So I just want to point to what happens at night time. Yeah. So all of us have the experience of going to sleep. Yeah. Now, we may dream and we may have stressful dreams, but even if that's the case, we have, at the moment of going to sleep, let go of all those.
I'm sorry, you went muted, you're frozen.
Oh, sorry. Thank you for
the last bit.
Okay, so you got the bit of we've all got the experience of going to sleep. Yeah. So we all have the experience of letting go of all those thoughts that are so important and need us to keep thinking them in order for everything to work. Yeah. We do it every night. Yeah. We wake up and we pick up where we left off often, but we actually have the ability to break those short thought chains. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just saying that because it can take a bit of belief and courage. Yeah. Because they want us to think they're really important and real, and if we don't keep thinking about them, you know, disaster will happen. Yeah. And that's just not true. Yes, they're really important. Yes, you know, we do need to spend time giving that good attention, good quality energy, good quality engagement. And usually we will benefit from giving our minds a real break from that. Yeah. And that will actually improve the situation because it improves our perspective. Yeah. And we know how to do it because we do it every night. Yeah. So we can feel like we're a real victim to these thoughts. Yeah. But we actually do know how to do it. Yeah. Okay. So we'll do another meditation. Going into the body can break that illusion that we need to keep these thoughts going. Yeah. But going into any sense can do that. Yeah. Being very alive in any sense, any of the sense spheres. So it can be the visual sense sphere, it can be the hearing sense sphere, it can be smell and taste, but it's like yeah, or any of those sense spheres can it's probably easier for us to release that hold, if you like, on the bodily sense sphere or on the hearing. Yeah. So the next meditation we'll do, we'll practice, yeah, releasing the hold. Yeah. So this is actually practice for being able to do it in the mental sphere. Yeah. We're practice it because it's the same holding. Yeah. Whether we're holding on to thoughts or whether we're holding on to our idea of our body or our sensations in the body, or we're chasing after sounds or pushing away sounds or pulling towards us sounds. Yeah. Things in the body we like, things in the body we don't like. Yeah. All of that. So if we learn to relax with awareness, yeah, open, just be sort of very alive in the sensation, yeah, we're giving ourselves the training, yeah, so that we can do that with thoughts and emotions and stressful things, which are harder, yeah, which can be much harder. But it's like we're training our muscle, yeah, we're training the sort of muscle that releases that compulsiveness. Yeah, so we're training it through the work that we do in the body and in the sound sphere. And then it's the same muscle that lets go of the thoughts and the emotions. Does that make sense? Is that clear? Yeah. So it'll be easier to do it within the meditation. You'll probably get a flavor of this. So set yourself up for meditation again. So we're sitting here together in this meta space that we're sharing. And we're sharing our humanity, what it is to be a living, breathing, sensing being. We all share that. So we can trust our sense experience. No need to hold it all together. We don't know what we experience. We don't need to know. Release into the sensations of the body. Take a holiday from knowing. Sensing in to the life in the body, the vitality. Allowing gravity to move through us, to help us release into the earth, to the ground. If it helps, we can release into the sensations of the muscles in our head area or the skin, or any feelings of energy in the back of the head. Keep coming back to what you can feel of the actual sensation. No need for labels or images. And gradually dropping down, using gravity if it helps. The sensations of the neck and shoulders. Field or cloud of sensation. If you have a sense of that, moving further down, the heart center. What's it like now? Curious. Releasing more and more into the sensation. Open to just how it is. and down through the diaphragm. Into the simple sensations associated with the area of the belly. Letting gravity take us right down. Resting in the sensations of the body. A cloud of sensation. No need to push or pull. To want or not want. Just sensation. See if we can rest more and more. Dissolving into the experience. Simple experience of pressure, stretch, rise and fall. Movements of energy. Alive in the sensation of touch. Vital, flowing. Unknowable. What is this? Shifting, ungraspable experience. Dissolving more and more. And now we can include in our sphere of awareness any sounds in our environment. Inside the room, even inside our bodies, or outside, further away. Simple experience of sound. Vibration. Sharpness. Or soft continuousness. Shifting play of sound and silence. Awareness and sounds coming in and out of focus. Relaxing, easing with the experienced sound. No need to push or pull. To go out to the sound or bring it into you. No need to label. Dance of vibration and silence. Letting go of the need to know. The searching. What's it like to be immersed in the feeling sound, open and free? And just to end, just release any sense of doing anything at all. We are alive. We know how to be alive. We've been doing it for lifetimes. Let those processes happen anyway. Let everything go on holiday. Nothing to do.